This is Lady Myya.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so sorry for the interruption. Just letting you know that the quality of the future videos will be better. Okay, doing a whole bunch of projects. You guys are not gonna want to miss this. Okay, so make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Okay, listen, there's links in the bottom. You're just gonna love them. And so definitely take a look.
This is Lady Myya. Listen. Okay. So I have company, y'all. Okay, Miss Rachelle Elizabeth. I love her energy. Her energy. Oh my goodness. I'm exhausted, y'all. I am. I really am. But I love it because I'm like, I think we're just trying to trade. We're trying to like telepathically trade places for some strange reason because she's doing so much and I'm doing so much and we're like so excited all at the same time. But it's so super dope and it's just so much fun to talk to her. And I'm like, oh my goodness, she is me. Okay, just younger, but me. No, certainly. But she has a business called The Power of Post. Okay, so she just started this thing, but I can see her going so far with this because I'm gonna have to barter with her to get some things done. You see what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, it's gonna go down either way. We're both gonna be successful. It's just gonna be the real deal all day. So, my Mayan tribe, please welcome Rachel.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it. I'm so glad to be a part of your tribe and to just be on this podcast. And you are fantastic. I've been loving talking to you and your content and everything. So I'm just so happy and privileged and just honored to be here and to be with you tonight.
I told you she had energy. Y'all thought I was lying. Look.
We got to keep that energy up. We got to keep that energy up.
We do. We got to give the people the energy because I know this is why the Mayan tribe comes in. Because they're like, you know what? She's going to have all the energy. She's going to tell me everything. What's the teeth? Run it down. How they got started. Why they got started and everything. So, this is why I talk to everybody. Because I'm like, you know what? Everybody's path and everybody's experience has been different. So it's going to always give you, their perspective of what happened, and what they had to do to get to where they are. And so you might find just a little bit of you in this story or a little bit of you in another story. You never know, but this is to encourage you. Okay, first off, everybody needs encouragement. Even we need encouragement because Lord knows, we can be nice and happy and go lucky and all that good stuff, but at the same time, there's a lot of down moments where you be like, okay, I'm exhausted. I don't know if I can do this.
You gotta ride those waves, and when you got those down, that's when you start to fill up your cup with the cheerleaders around you that say, "What's going on? Let's talk it out." And then you get back on the high tide. And you keep on going.
Exactly. And this is why we're trying to be your tide, y'all. We can be your tide. We can take you up and down and up and down. We want to take you more up than down, but you know what we mean. You know what we mean. We're gonna let you ride the current. Let's do that. Let's do that for sure.
We're going to figure out what kind of surfboard. I've never surfed before, but you got the longboard and you got the shortboard. The shortboard's a little bit more control. Longboard, you just kind of ride it. So what kind of board are you riding today? And you can choose which one you want to ride.
Woo! Ride it. That's what we're trying to do today. We're trying to make sure you guys can master any and everything that y'all want to happen and how happy you can be and the people around you are going to be happy and everybody's just going to look at you like, oh my goodness, that person did it and they did everything they said they was going to do and we want to be a part. That's what we want to do. We want to be a part. So I'm going to have her do a rundown on her business and what her business is doing.
Fantastic. So yes, we have the power of pose, and really what it is, it encourages others to seek the knowledge that they would like to achieve in order to embrace an extraordinary life. And the basis of where it has the foundation is actually how you hold yourself. Because when we think about it, anything that you have going on in your brain or the thoughts that are running through your head you've been taught those things. And there's been a lot of maybe potentially negative self-talk, or you've been taught certain circumstances, and to rewire the brain neurons to think differently is not something you can physically see. But when you look at how someone carries themselves, I mean, think about it. I'll give an example since we're on video. When you see someone walking down the street, they're walking like this, you can just see that the weight of the world is on their shoulders. They're not even holding it right. Maybe they're off to one side, but you can just see how they're feeling. But we can actually instantaneously change how we hold ourselves. And that's just by putting our shoulders back, chest out tall, head held high. My mother used to be like, Rachel, anytime when there was a picture or anything like, she's like, Rachel, shoulders back, chest out. Shoulders back, chest out. So my mother is kind of inspiration for this. But that is something when you actually can really hold yourself with dignity and hold yourself with confidence and conviction, no matter what the world throws at you, you're going to be able to carry it with strength and with power. So that's the basis of the power of pose. And there's more that goes along with that in the sense of healing and cleansing and dreaming and using that imagination that we lost potentially as a child. Because think about it, when you were a kid, you thought anything was possible until the world taught you differently. But just a heads up, world's changing.
You should have gone for the head.
And you can change along with it and grow and evolve. And you are the author of your own story. So my question is to the listeners and the viewers, how are you going to carry and hold yourself as you rewrite that story?
Yes, we want to know. Write me, okay? Write me, please, please, please write me. I'm telling you, you can go on any of my platforms. You can tell me how you're going to rewrite your story. I want to know, because, okay, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to say, hold on 1 second. My battery's about to die. I got to plug in the computer.
Oh, so
You don't want to lose ya. And I have it right here. I just realized I'm like, oh. And always understand things are going to happen. Things are going to go haywire. Like if your battery's about to die, or I was doing a live with Being Prepared on my Ultimate Guide to Virtual Speaking. And I had just talked about how you may have your internet go out. If it does, don't stress. Don't let it worry you. Just keep on moving. Think with a clear head and keep moving forward. Don't you know in the middle of my live, internet goes out? You gotta be kidding me. I manifested it. I kept my cool. I got it back up and running, and I had my viewers still watching. I'm like, thank you guys. See, this is what happens. You just got to keep on going. You got to keep rolling with the punches.
You do. You really do. Don't let anything stop you. You know, I think that is so important, because a lot of times, do y'all understand how many times that the voices drop? You know, the mics aren't working, the echo is loud. You know, there's so many different things that can happen. You know, your connection is jacked up. You know, everybody's running in slow motion. You just never know. Anything can happen, but that doesn't mean stop.
No, it doesn't mean don't start either. A lot of people may wait because they're like, well, I'm not in the right place for it right now. I don't have the right equipment. I'm in my bedroom right now. Like, I don't have a fancy studio. I don't have like a teleprompter. I got a little selfie ring I got off Amazon for $25. Like, this is how I got started. And anyone out there, if you're looking to make a change, work with what you got and start to make a move no matter what it is. Exactly.
We need to do that. Okay, first off, I say this. You know, a lot of times you can say, you know, I don't, but that just keeps you where you started, or not even starting. You're just stationary. And then, you know, with that, you really don't go nowhere. That's a boulder. mentality. I'm not going nowhere. All I'm going to do is sit right here, and I'm going to get bashed and beat by the winds, the water, and everything else. I'm not going anywhere, but I'm not bringing a whole lot of value to what life I do have.
Yeah.
Let's bring some value. Come on now.
You gotta bring the value. And I love how you're saying how I like the idea of the boulder, because you're right. Boulders are big, they're powerful, but think about it. If those boulders were able to make a move and something really shook them up that they had to move, what power could they bring to the environment around them? So think about it. If you are a boulder and you're sitting saying, I don't, but you're a boulder. Oh, the thing is that earthquake that's going to shake everything up, that has to start within you.
Yes. Talk about it. Okay. So, you know what? I had asked her, and we had because we were having a conversation. Of course, we were talking. Come on. So we were talking about making your own tribe. And I think that would actually get that boulder up and running if that boulder had more boulders and more people that were ready to go and keep moving and you're making more paths into life. The boulders are heavy, they're compacted, but they are like a powerhouse. They're making room for everything else to come behind them. Yes. It's going to be a very clear path at that point. But we all need somebody to help.
Yes, and think about it. Any mentor that you've seen, they've gone through that struggle, but they've been able to figure out a way to help create a path for others that makes it a little more simple. Yeah. And not in the sense of mentally simple. You still have to do the work, but to be able to ask the questions that make you really deep think into saying, who am I? Where do I want to go? And how do I get there? So if you think about it, that boulder, maybe there is the earthquake inside of them that gets them to start rolling. And what that's going to be able to do is literally imagine a boulder that was actually rolling in the dirt, and it would create actually this path of what the boulder went down. How much easier would it be for those other little boulders to go down the same path because someone else decided to carve the way for them?
There you go. Mm-hmm. There you go.
You just got to decide what that earthquake is going to be.
Yes.
I know myself, but you, like me, you probably had an earthquake that shook up everything, that said, you know what? No more. I'm figuring something else out, right?
But you know what? This makes it room. Okay, when things get shooken up, right? And things are getting destroyed, but now you can make it to whereas it's the way you want it to be because the rebuild is on its way. It's the way you wanted it to look. It's how you wanted the extensions to look. It's how high the platform is. It's how many rooms there are. The opportunities are endless at that point because now you took that earthquake and you made it better. You made everything around it better. And now you're going to make your life better for your family. It's going to be better for those that's around you, the people that you're going to be impacting. Okay, so let me just say this. Everybody wants to be Oprah. Everybody. Okay? Even if you say you don't. You know you do. Okay, first off, but I know, right? And so at the same time, she made a way. She made a path. She had a whole lot of pitfalls. People telling her all types of things.
You told Harpo to beat me.
But she was just like, oh no, say that ain't so. I gotta do my own thing. She was that boulder. She was the brick house. She was like, no. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. It's just gotta be. And she made her own home. She made her own house. She made her own network. She made it for how everybody else can do it too.
Mm-hmm. And
She
she
had to
didn't
be
let the no's tear her down either. She just let every single no she heard build her up because she knew that every single no that she heard, she was going to get closer to the yes.
Yes. Woo! That's that sales mentality, sis.
It is.
Oh my goodness, but it's possible, it's doable. I mean, so many people told me at one point, like, no, I don't want to be on no. Yeah, you don't have enough numbers for your podcast. You don't have this. You don't have that. Now, who is calling me? Who is talking about? Oh, well, can we collaborate? Can we do this? Can we do that? Wait, but you were saying how I didn't have enough and I wasn't this and I wasn't that, but now you want to be on my, okay.
Yeah,
Well,
and
we'll see. We'll see.
yeah, and all those naysayers, guess what? They're the ones that are knocking at your door when you actually make it. So that's another really picky thing about, you should be picky with your tribe. I'm just saying that right now. You should be picky with your tribe, because if you have someone who you turn to when you need someone to listen, and I'm not saying ask advice from, I'm saying just someone who's going to listen open-mindedly and to hear where you are. Because typically, whenever we get a chance to really think about what's going on in our minds or things that we're struggling with, we can usually deduct it all out if we can speak freely and openly without judgment.
Right.
But if you're with your tribe and that person, instead of listening to what you're saying, they automatically start talking and listening to their own advice that they're giving you and listen to their own words that they're saying, but not actually listening to where you are coming from. I'm just saying, be picky with your tribe.
Yes.
You should be picky with your tribe.
Yes. And I guess for me, like I have, everybody says, you want to always have those five friends that are yours, that, you have as friends. They call it the circle.
Yep.
And I think circles are very much powerful. Like the boulder circle. It's circle. It's just going to keep me in the go. It's going to keep me in the know. It's going to keep me going, because now these things give me energy. It energizes me to keep going. And I think it's so important because, my Mayan tribe, y'all are first and foremost, okay, before anything. Because I look at it like these are the people that entrusted me, with their time, their effort, and their energies. And this is why I thank you every time, for the show. Your energy is immaculate. Your time and everything is valuable. And I want only the best for you. And I only want to always elevate you to do and be who you are. A lot of people, we go through stuff. I mean, everybody. We all go through stuff. Yes, it's a lot of different things. I know, right? We go through a lot of things, but at the same time, we can't have those things define us. We cannot. It's too much out there for us to be able to see, to make us feel better.
Yeah.
For us to soar, to be the people that we were put on this planet to be. Like, let's do this. Let's do it right. Because, like, I think, I was having a conversation not too long ago, and she was saying how, sometimes, we get in these funks and we just don't really want to do too much. But at the same time, I look at it like that should make you more motivated. I'm a hard person. I'm a horrible person because I don't let you sit in your funk. I do not. I do not let you sit on your phone for long, because I'm like, first off, you can take that time, that effort, and that energy and put it into something positive to get you closer to the very thing that you wanted in the first place.
Oh, most definitely. And it's interesting that you bring this up, because not even maybe like 2 weeks ago, I did a live talking about what I call overcast days. Where you just have that day, and I think it had to do with the seasons changing, whatever it may be, where you're just like, I'm really not motivated to do something. It was interesting because my roommate saw me. I had the day off of work, and I'm sitting in my room. I was just watching some TV. He's like, you seem sad. Is everything okay? Can I do anything to make you happy? And I turned to him and I go, I live with two dudes. It's very interesting, but that's beside the point. And he turns to me like, and it was interesting because whenever we're in that funk, we are automatically programmed and automatically conditioned to think that something is wrong. And sometimes something is really wrong, but there was nothing that was wrong on that day. It was just, you know what? I was just in a bit of a mood where I thought to myself, you know what? I just need to feel this right now. It's not good. It's not bad. It's just how it is right now. And by the end of the day, I actually felt great because I was able to do some other things that were good with my time. I love to play pool. I'm not good at it, but I love to play. And so I went to the pool hall by myself. I played a couple rounds by myself to improve my game. But it was one of those things of the overcast day. Sometimes it's not that it needs to be fixed, but it needs to be felt.
Yeah.
And when you feel it, you'll be able to move forward and that will fix it. Think about it. Emotion, energy, motion. You sometimes gotta feel it to move forward.
Right. Ooh, I like that. I'm gonna have to use that stuff. Yeah. Like emotion, energy, and motion.
I got that from one of Robin's, actually, so I can't take credit for that. My mentor. See, he does not realize that he's part of my 5 people I surround myself with, but he's one of them.
Like you know now. So, okay, we want the best for you. We want you to be everything. Be everything. Like, like we were talking about Oprah. She didn't start halfway through. She had to start from the bottom up. Oh. Why can't you? You can start from the bottom up too. And you may be able to go a little bit further. But you won't know unless you try.
Oh,
that's what I say.
You gotta at least try it. It's if you don't, again, in sales, we can talk about this. So anyone who is on the call who is in the sales industry, if you don't ask the question, the answer is automatically no. Yeah. Where at least if you ask, there's a chance they're going to move forward with the sale. Same thing with our lives. Right. Unless we try, nothing is ever going to change.
That's very true. That's very true. And sales is easy. Okay, if somebody told you to sell something, I'm gonna tell you how easy it is because I was the worst. Okay, I'm gonna tell you how bad I was. This was how bad I was. I would have someone come into the car dealership and be like, "Oh, I want a car," and I would sit there and I'd be like, "Oh, for real? Okay." And I would take them on drives and stuff like that. I think we was on the drive longer than we should have been, but we was on the drive. And I would say, "Can we go to the CVS?" And we would go to the CVS or whatever the pharmacy was, and we would walk out. And I'd be like, "Ooh, that's a nice car. Whose car is that?" And they'd be like, "That is nice, ain't it?" I know it is. You know what? We need to hurry up and get back so we can sign your paperwork.
We gotta sign this because we've been driving along too long. My boss gonna be like, "Okay, is she getting the sale?" Because she is worth it.
Yes, she better get that sale. That's all that was. But it was so much fun because if you were just yourself, people will buy you before they'll buy the product. Mm-hmm. If they like you, they will buy the product. Just don't be that person. That person. "Oh, Jay, well, you need to get this today because, you never know. Your car could blow up tomorrow." What do you know about my car? I don't know.
Oh my goodness. So very true. I use this idea when it comes to sales and to also, because you just said people will buy you as well, but you also got to buy yourself. At the end of the day, the only person who's going to be there at the end of the day for you is you. And the longest relationship you will ever have with another human being is actually yourself.
That is true.
With a human soul is yourself. So you got to also learn to love and appreciate yourself. That will also enhance everything else around you. Yes. And I have this little system I've come up with, and you can use it in sales. You can use it in your personal life. But I try to think to myself, what are the goals I want to accomplish? Write all of them down. Write all of your goals, whether they be your professional goals, your physical goals, your emotional goals, whatever they are, write them all down. After you have written down all those goals, At the bottom, think about the dollar commitment you would want to put towards achieving those goals, even if that dollar commitment is zero. Because this could be, maybe it's if you want to do physically better, maybe it's a gym membership. If you want to be emotionally better, maybe it's seeking therapy or courses, or like I'm doing Unleash the Power Within tomorrow. Whatever that dollar commitment is, that's going to help you achieve whatever the goals are. On another side of paper, write down all of the concerns. And what I mean by concerns is that these are things that will hinder you from achieving your goals. Is it maybe the time that I'm spending doing something else? Is it maybe stresses that are going on, or your mindset? Then here's the key. Take both of those lists, all of your goals, including the dollar commitment you want to put towards achieving the goals, and your concerns, things that are hindering you from achieving, and blend them into one list and prioritize them first through last. It helps with focus and to tying it all together. So that way you say, okay, well, if I had to prioritize, and this is the first thing I want to focus on, the dollar commitment that I can, okay, let me put it towards that and start to do research on how to improve that one goal. If you see that something that's a concern is holding you back from that, then address the concern at the same time. So that's kind of an easy strategy for those who are like, how can I achieve everything that's going on in my brain? How can I get it down on and make a clear storyline for myself? That's a really simple, easy technique that can help you achieve that.
Yes. And I mean, I think lists are like the best. Like lists are absolutely the best because I mean, it gives you exactly what you need to do or think about at that point in time. Okay, this is, it's something about crossing out something on the list, boy. It is something. Something. You be like, ooh, I can cross that out. Oh, check. And when you start to see the number of things that you could cross out off that list, you're talking about now you can pat yourself in the back, get you a nice little massage, go and do whatever it is that you got to do because you did something. You know, because you may not need somebody else to show you or tell you, oh my God, that you did this, or no. This is you taking note of yourself.
Yes, and you always got to reward yourself. So whatever your to-do list is, that last one, have it be something that rewards you. Always choose that and say you can't do the thing that rewards you unless you get the other things done. Like you got to hold yourself to that standard, and no one else is going to have that self-discipline to keep that standard. So keep that standard. I love that you said this though, because I use Amy Porterfield's technique. She uses this technique to make her master classes. I just use it for life. And she used a Post-it note method. So what she does is she gets, as you can see, I have Post-it notes on my. I see. I use this. And what it is that you set a timer for 10 minutes and you want to focus on a particular topic. Maybe it's things that you're looking to accomplish, and put on some really good music. My go-to recently has been Hamilton. I'm diving all into that again and singing my butt off. But for 10 minutes and set the timer, you write down everything that comes to your mind on that topic, everything. And you put it all over your mirror, your wall, your closet. And once that 10 minutes is up, it doesn't matter where everything is. Whatever time is up, stop. And then set another timer for 10 minutes and then organize all the things on the Post-it notes in the organization that makes the most sense. It's just an easy, especially because like I like lists and whatnot. Ever since I've discovered this, it helps me get all of my ideas that maybe this is more important than this, but it's also on my mind. So I want to put it over here, but it's over this way. I'm a fan of Post-it notes. I can't help it.
Girl, I lose Post-it notes, but I have one of those little digital Post-it notes. I love those, like the little digital. So I got this, and I moved that there, and I moved this, and put that there, and this one's going in the trash. So it just keeps me motivated because you can change the colors and different things like that. The fonts is pretty and stuff like that. So you're like, okay, I'm gonna do this one today because that look nice. I like that. And so for me, I think like the most that I try to do is always think about my Myya track. Always try to think about those that I want to help impact. Always try to. I try to get so many people on here because I'm like, understand that you aren't the only one that was in that boat, Many of people were in that boat. They all have different, maybe some similarities, but at the same time, a lot of differences, but a lot of differences that you can actually understand and relate to. And be like, what, I was in that moment. Yeah, I did think that, but I wasn't sure. And then this person overcame that thing. Now it gives you your insights to overcome the same thing and do something. Yeah.
It's just learning all those different things and learning from someone who's gone through it, but took the time to really understand what it was that was holding them back, or what they were doing, or the story that they were telling themselves, and how they rewrote the perspective on it. I like to say that I think about like your life and how you thought maybe in the moment of something. For example, I'll share something personally about me, is that I was in a 5-year relationship where the guy never even called me his girlfriend. Like, it was not a healthy relationship.
Mm-hmm.
At the time, the rose-colored glasses that I was wearing didn't seem like this was a problem and that it was okay. Once I finally got out of that relationship, my glasses changed, and I was able to see like how you get older. Like, I finally started wearing glasses a few years ago because I'm nearsighted. And a couple of years later, they're like, yeah, you need to upgrade your prescription. Your eyes got worse. So I tried to think about that in the sense of, as you get older, or when you start to look at life retrospectively, you can change the glasses that you're wearing from a perspective standpoint, saying, how do I want this story to play out? So I think about that in the sense of, I don't hold any guilt onto it. I think in my heart, I still do, because I still struggle with romantic relationships. It's things I'm still working through, and I'm working through them, and it's just going to take time and patience. But I also look at that as, that was a chapter in my life that I can appreciate the good and learn for the bad.
Right.
Because a lesson only works if you implement the lesson in the future.
True. Very true. But she don't went there on the relationships. Ooh.
Oh, yeah. And don't keep rereading the same chapter either. Don't, because think about when you read a book, you don't reread the same chapter over and over again. You move on to the next chapter until you finish the book. How many times have we reread the same chapter of our life over and over and over and over and over again? Thinking we're going to find something different, and we don't. And it isn't until years later that we maybe reread the book again from a perspective of just looking at what has happened in our life. And we're like, oh, I didn't catch that detail before. Oh, that's not right. Why did I do this? Let's make sure we don't do that crap again.
No, I understand that completely, because a lot of the times we do get blinders on, and whatnot. You don't get a chance to see everything, but at the same time, you can rewrite your chapter. Come on.
Oh, you can rewrite it as many times as you want. That's the beautiful part about it. You get to edit your own story. You are the chief and editor of your life. Let's be honest.
And put your autograph in there, and make sure you send that thing packet. Like, okay, here you go. Yeah. There you go. Because I'm done with that chapter. I'm done with that book. I need to start my next book. And my next book is going to be bigger, better, and fancier. It's going to be shiny and everything.
Now it's got to have the shine.
The shine. So definitely. So okay. With that being in mind, because she's a busy individual, and I think that, man, I didn't even think it was going to go there.
We're just vibing. Like, we get each other. We just get it.
Like, okay, first I was like,
honored that you had that guy on the show today. Thank you.
But I was sitting there like, I was going to talk about safe space. I'm like, whatever happened to safe space? I was like, safe space, the left. We need to talk about this right now.
The entire thing just kind of went on its own. You know what? We shook it up and we moved the boulder. That's what we did.
There you go. Boom. Yes, that's what we did. We were supposed to do that. And I think, this was a conversation that may have needed to really be had. A lot of people need to hear, like, look, I can empower myself. I might need to empower myself, at least to get started. But, I don't want to be a boulder. I don't want to be a boulder.
And never neglect that power of pose. Never neglect that power of pose. If you see yourself and you're starting to slump down a little bit, I got caught like the other day. I was having a conversation, like it was a deep conversation about like feelings and whatnot. And I started to do this. He caught me. He goes, "Put your shoulders back." I'm just like, you can't use my words against me, but thank you.
Oh, that is too cute. She like,
put your shoulders back, chest up, head held high, and take on the world because you got this.
Hey, we all got this. We all got this. Listen, look, I talk to you. I'm talking. Listen, you hear me. You hear me. Gosh darn it. You hear
I'm
me.
listening.
You have the power for any and everything to happen to you the way you really want it to. You just have to try.
Mm-hmm. You got the tribe right here.
Exactly. The tribe is here for you. We will push, we will pull, we will yank, we will do whatever it is that you need to do to get to that next level. That you are worth the next level. You are worth better than ever. You are worth everything. A lot of people are starting to lose their worth, and I don't understand how that is. Like, how strong was it in the first place then?
Mm-hmm. All in perspective. If everything's kind of going crazy, what is the perspective and how can you change it? How can you go from the opposite of, if I remember correctly, the opposite of fearful is boldness.
Yeah.
So how can you pivot to change your perspective from fearful to bold?
Yes. See, I'm going to say, because, okay. I got another call.
No, you're good. You're good.
But I love you guys, and this is what we talk about these things because it does need to have. We do need to have the conversations, and we want you to be empowered in everything that you do, and we want you to only flourish. I mean, be the best that you can be the best that you are, because a lot of people just, no, we're not putting stuff away. We're not going to do that. No, we're going to keep it moving. We're going to plant that seed. We're going to make sure we water it. We're going to do everything we need to make that thing nurture and grow. That's what we're going to do from here on out, you guys. Love you so much. Thank you so much, Rachel. You have been phenomenal. Okay, so how can my people get a hold of you? Because, that's what they need.
Anything that you look for, The Power of Pose, at The Power of Pose on Facebook, at The Power of Pose on Instagram, or you can find me at Rachelle Elizabeth, even though it looks like Rachelle for those of you who are just listening to this. Or at Rachelle Elizabeth. That's how you can get a hold of me on both Facebook and on Instagram.
Nice. Yes. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, dear heart. Thank you so much. Yes. Listen, anytime. Thank you so much, you guys, for joining me, living your best life with Lady Myya. And thank you so much for just giving me your time, and hopefully that I did you proud with what I said and what we do and different things like that. I'm on Patreon now, so if you want to help a sister, I'm telling you, help me give you more content. Help me help you. I can give you more resources and different things to help you better do and live your life. So we definitely want all that to happen as well. And so, you know what? If you want to be a part of the show as well, you can always give me a email. That's going to be ladymyya@gmail.com. And that's Myya as Myya. And you know why, you guys? Because your homegirl is special. We will talk to you guys later.